You know what? I'm really proud of you. You finally made the choice to get into riding motorcycles. I promise you, it's not as difficult as you might think, and one of the most fulfilling hobbies out there. Today, I'm gonna teach you exactly how to shift a motorcycle. If we haven't met before, hello. I'm Brandon Hart, and this is my 2001 Harley-Davidson Softail Deuce. Let's hop on and get into it. I've got a couple camera angles I think will help you out as we go through this. So let's do it. Before we turn this thing on, we'll just give a quick general overview. With your left hand, this is your clutch hand. It's a good idea to cover this with 2 fingers as you're moving or underway. Your right hand is your front brake. Also a good idea, have 2 fingers up there. You want to cover these. You could even do 3 fingers if you like, but cover them while you're riding. It's a good practice to start now. On the right hand side with your foot is the rear brake lever, and on the left hand side, this is your gear lever. To shift gears, you always want to pull in that clutch. You don't want to shift gears without the clutch in. So this is a 5-speed bike. It'll work the same with the 6-speed as well, but you have an extra gear. So with a 5-speed, pull that clutch in. If you kick all the way down till you can't kick anymore, you're in first gear. You'll notice I let off the clutch. I don't go anywhere because it's in gear. You go half a click up is neutral. And I know I'm in neutral because I can let off the clutch and the bike moves forward and backwards. Always want to start your bike in neutral because the transmission isn't engaged. If I want to shift up to second, it's up, and then you continue going up for each gear. And the best way to find first gear when you're coming up to a stop, kick all the way down till you're in that first gear. So I'm not neutral now because the bike isn't rolling. It's a good way to check without it being on. So I want to do a half click up here, find neutral. Sometimes it's hard to find on some bikes. A little tip for neutral, see I just missed it right there. A little tip to find neutral, roll that bike up a little bit before you shift it and you can find it a little bit easier. But anyway, let's get started and underway. Always make sure before you start the bike that neutral light is on, and then as a backup, make sure the bike rolls forward and backward freely. That's your confirmation in addition to the neutral, which doesn't work all the time. Don't always rely on that, but that'll let you know you're in neutral. And you can go ahead and start the bike. What I recommend practicing first is clutch control. So what you're gonna do is pull in this clutch. Don't pull that out just yet, but keep that clutch pulled in, or don't let go of it just yet. Keep that clutch pulled in, and then you're gonna kick it into gear. You'll hear a click with the bike. I'm now in gear, okay? Very important, don't let off that clutch. So you're in first gear. Now what I want you to do is just let the clutch out just slowly, just a little bit, until you feel the bike itself move, and then pull it back in. And then repeat that process. Get a feel for where that engine or transmission engages. The bike will move a little bit without having to give it any throttle, so we're not introducing throttle yet. It all starts with clutch control. And the reason I'm going over the clutch is it's very important when you're shifting gears, probably one of the most important things. So again, let off a little bit. You'll feel the bike start to roll forward. Again, I'm just walking with it. It's going, right? Clutch barely out. I'm not gonna let it out all the way because the bike will jump. If you run into any situation where you have to stop really quickly, or like you see those videos and people, they're going off and they're hitting cars in a parking lot. If you pull that clutch in, it's not gonna engage the transmission. You're not gonna go any faster. So just remember, if anything goes down, pull that clutch in. Pull it out a little bit, see the bike walks with you. And I want you to just practice that for a few minutes. Because you'll learn is as you're shifting gears, wherever that bike starts to engage is where you'll give it just a little throttle. Now we're not gonna give it throttle yet. I still have that clutch in, keep that clutch in. But when you're twisting the throttle, you don't need to go like that. Don't give it too much throttle. And remember, it's a throttle, so what a lot of people who start riding do is they hold on to that throttle if they lose control. Just remember, all you need is that much. That's plenty. See, you're barely moving the throttle. You don't need to pull this in, go crazy with it. That's about as much throttle as you need right there. Whereas you're about to go, you want to find that spot just a little bit and then start to let off that clutch at the same time. Don't let it out all the way, but keep your feet down where that throttle is, and you'll notice the bike is starting to roll. See? And now, when it grabs, you can let that clutch out, give it the same amount of throttle. Now you can let off the throttle a little bit. You'll notice when you do that, the bike starts to lug a little bit, right? It's like in gear, doesn't know what to do. Just pull that clutch back in, and you're okay. And the same thing, give it just a little bit, and then slowly let off that clutch. And you're riding very clean. First gear is the key. If you get this down, it's smooth sailing. So the best practice you can do is slow speed. I say this all the time as I'm going the wrong way. Hang on a second. Sheesh. All right, don't worry, I'm in a park. Same thing, find that sweet spot with the clutch where the bike starts to walk. Remember where that sweet spot is without letting out the clutch all the way. So just a little bit, walk that bike, let's find out where it is. That's called the friction zone. In bike terminology, is really where the clutch engages the transmission. And just a little bit off the clutch, that bike starts to walk itself a little bit. See, I'm walking the bike, it's not stalling because that clutch is still engaged. Find your throttle. I'm only going to twist it. I mean, you see, maybe you can see this little dot for reference, but I am barely turning that throttle. So let's give it a little throttle, just like that, right? Hold it there on the, just a little bit, and then start to roll that clutch out. Okay, keep your feet down for this, and you'll feel that engine engage. And when it engages, just go with the smooth throttle. You can let off that clutch and you're underway. That right there, I would say is about, I don't know, 70% of it, that first gear. And then as you're coming up to a stop, clutch all the way in. Use your rear brake if you're turning your handlebars, do another video on that, and a little bit of front brake if your handlebars are straight. Tip with braking, handlebar straight, it's okay to use the front brake a little bit. If your handlebars are turned, use that rear brake. Practice that. Remember, my clutch is all the way in, and then slowly just let off that clutch. Increase the throttle just a tad, and the bike will get underway for you. You'll learn that sweet spot the more you practice this. Also, quick tip, when you turn, look into the turn. Don't look straight ahead if you're going to turn right. Look to the right. On a motorcycle, the bike goes where you're looking. So like here, see it turns left? I want to look to the left at the same time through this turn. It's going to give me a whole lot more control around that turn. A real life scenario, you're at a stop sign and you need to turn either left or right. Well, you got to practice that same thing, but remember what I told you about turning? Well, I'm going to give you a little cheat sheet. Put your foot on that rear brake, get used to that balance if you can. And what you want to do is look, we'll go left, let's say. Look to the left, we'll make sure the coast is clear first. Barely touch that right brake, the rear brake. Put a little bit of pressure on it. Look to the left the whole time. And then the same thing that I told you earlier with letting off that throttle. You want to practice that over and over. The turns from first and the straight from first. So we're in first. What we're going to do is pull the clutch in and then kick up and then slowly let the clutch out and give it gas at the same time. I'm coming up to a stop, so bad example. Let's try that again. All right, we're in first. It's getting loud. We'll shift after the speed bump. We're in first. Clutch in. Shift up. Slowly clutch out and roll on throttle just slightly. Just like you did in first with the clutch out, same type of thing. So now you're in second gear. We're gonna do some real world now. Let's get out of this park, shall we? So we're in first, rolling off. Clutch in, kick up, roll off. See how loud it gets? Clutch in, kick up, roll off. And you're simultaneous, so as you're letting off that clutch, you're also giving a little bit of gas. You'll notice I don't really roll the throttle too hard. You don't need to. And then clutch in, kick up, roll off. What a beautiful day. The other thing is, a lot of bikes don't tell you what gear you're in. This is one of those bikes, and the best way to learn, I think, is without knowing what gear you're in, because you can just feel out the bike. And as you're coming closer on the stop, just pull that clutch in, kick down, make sure you're in first. The smartest thing to do when you're starting, don't put it in neutral. Don't worry about finding neutral. It's actually safer when you're pulling up to a stop to keep that clutch engaged. It makes you, it gives you an out in case someone rolls up on you fast with a car. So again, you'll notice shifting up is probably one of the easiest things. Just clutch in, kick up, slightly roll off the clutch and throttle same time. I shouldn't say roll off the throttle, but roll the clutch and the throttle, right? Clutch in, kick up, roll the throttle and clutch. Nice and smooth. It's downshifting, I think a lot of new riders tend to struggle with a little bit more. It's a little more difficult. So let's downshift here. Clutch in, kick down, and I want to give it a little throttle and let the clutch out. It's like that little throttle blip. If you're coming up to a light and you need to stop quickly, don't panic. Just pull the clutch in, kick it all the way down to first, keep that clutch in the whole time. You'll be fine. And then you'll just start from first, from your stop. And you'll get that sweet spot of where the motor's happy. And at a point where, like, when you give it a little throttle, it picks up a little bit. That's how you know you're in the right gear. All right, let's make it right here. So what I'll do it the easy way. Clutch in, down, down, down. I'm in first right now. Clutch is still in. I'm not letting off that clutch. I also have my rear brake, and I'm gonna come to a stop. Handlebars are straight at the stop. Slowly roll off. We're in first gear. Clutch in, kick up, roll. Clutch in, kick up, roll. Clutch in, kick up, roll. I'm going a little too fast, okay, so I want to downshift. Clutch in, kick down, roll the throttle, let off. So the biggest difference between upshifting and downshifting is when you downshift, you want to give it throttle while that clutch is engaged. Just so you can match the revs. Think about it, when you're in third gear, you're traveling faster. And when you reduce it to second gear, well, it's usually at that braking point of second gear, so it's really going to be loud, right? You want to rev it up just a little bit. Not while the clutch is out, though. It's when the clutch is in. It's really important. You rev it when the clutch is out, you're going to go. All right, you know what? Let's do a U-turn up here. Clutch in, kick down all the way. I'm in first gear because you can't click any farther. That's how you know in first. Look behind you for the U-turn. You give it a little bit and roll. Yep. Clutch in, kick up, roll. Clutch in, kick up, roll. Clutch in, kick up, roll. Okay, lights turning red. You have two options. You can do that fancy downshift, or clutch in, kick all the way down to first. You can't kick any further. You're in first, clutch is in. You're safe. It's really that simple. If you don't feel comfortable with the downshifting yet, that's a good way to do it. Or if you're coming up on a light suddenly, you're not going to downshift through 3 to 4 gears. Just pull the clutch in. As you're still rolling, kick her down. I come up to a turn here. I'm kicked down to first gear. Look both ways. We're clear. Roll. Clutch in, kick up, roll. Clutch in, kick up, roll. And you can start to do that fast, right? Like Here, I'll show you. Clutch in, kick up, roll. Clutch in, kick up, roll. And you'll start to feel it in your body. It's like you feel that bike. If you roll on it and you're really not getting much response out of the engine, you're probably in too high of a gear. So again, we'll remember, clutch in, we'll shift down. Clutch in, kick down, rev, let off clutch. Clutch in, kick down, rev, let off clutch. Clutch in, kick down, rev, let off clutch. Clutch in, kick down, rev. Yep. That's your downshift right there. Downshift, clutch in, kick down, roll the throttle. Always make sure you let go of the throttle before you let that clutch lever out. Let's do it again. Clutch in, kick down. Yep. Let's do it one more time. Clutch in, kick down, roll. Clutch in, kick down, blip it, let off. It's rev matching. That's how you do it. It's almost like when you do the clutch in and kick up, it's one motion, right? Boom. The same time. And then roll it off. Boom. Roll it off. The downshift, we'll do clutch in, kick down, roll the throttle. Boom. Let off that clutch and you're like, oh shoot, I stalled out. Very normal. First of all, don't lose your cool. There's only a couple things you need to do here. One, clutch in, and you want to just half a click up, find that neutral, you'll see the light on, start the bike back up. It's that simple. I'll show you again. Let's say we're in first, we're taking off, but you let off that clutch too much without giving it gas, and it stalls on you. Clutch in, find neutral, neutral's on, hit the start button again. That's all you have to do. It's not the end of the world. I actually recommend practicing that. How do you practice stalling out? Well, here's what you can do. This probably sounds crazy to practice, but put it in first, okay? Have a firm grip. Keep your handlebar straight, firm grip on the front brake there. So you have the brake engaged all the way. Slowly let off that clutch. You'll hear the bike start to go off, and boom, it stalls out with that brake in. So you can practice. I don't really think you should practice all the time because you want to stall your bike continuously, but it's a good learning experience. Find neutral, and then just start the bike back up. Simple as that. So if you stall out on the road, look, it happened to all of us. Listen, I was at Daytona Beach Bike Week this year, back in February, and there are people that have been riding for a long time that stall out. Heck, I've had friends that still stall out. So it's funny. Just laugh it off. You'll be okay. I hope you got some value out of this video. I enjoy this stuff. My goal is to get everyone into motorcycles. I know that'll probably never happen, but I promise you it's not as scary as a lot of people say. The best thing you can do is sign up for an MSF course. And in addition to your practice and all that, it's going to make you a better rider. Because you can watch these videos and you can read as much as you can, but it's never going to compare to your real life hands-on experience. Clutch in, kick down, blip, let off. I call it a blip. I don't even know if that's what it's supposed to be called. But you'll get good at it where you can just kick and blip at the same time. It just takes practice. It's muscle memory. If you do ride, remember, keep that rubber side down. If you're new and haven't ridden yet, what the heck are you waiting for? Get to practicing. Sign up for that MSF. Get out to a parking lot. Practice your shifting. You're going to be okay, I promise. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.